The first round of the NBA playoffs has been eye-opening, dare I say hair-raising. I saw Jamal Murray kill my Lakers yet again with 2-game winners in one series. I saw Nikola Jokic put up massive monster Wilt Chamberlain numbers again, 29, 16, and 9. This is a center almost averaging a triple-double, even though Anthony Davis matched up against him well. And I saw LeBron turn the clock back. At times, he looks like he's 25, and other times he looks like he's 45. Saw the Oklahoma City Thunder sweep the Pelicans, even though people said the Pelicans had a better roster than the Thunder. And Shea and this team is dangerous and will be a force to be reckoned with in the future. We saw Anthony Edwards eliminate, annihilate, decimate his GOAT, Kevin Durant. And now the discussion on the table is Anthony Edwards the face of the league and the best player in the league now as he faces the Denver Nuggets? And we also saw the Clippers do another choke job yet again. James Harden and Paul George had an excellent game 4, game 5, and game 6. They did not deliver. We saw Luka bounce back and completely take over games. And we saw Kyrie turn the clock back to 2016. No, Kyrie, this version is much better than the 2016 version. Patient, getting to the rim when he needs to, getting to the mid-range, knocking down clutch shots, just amazing. And almost led this team back to a 30-point deficit to win a game, even though they lost it. That was shocking. And in the East, of course, it's kind of boring over there. Not that much excitement and all that, right? Boston did what Boston does. Eliminate the Miami Heat. We saw the New York Knicks beat the 76ers, a team that I had, going to the second round this postseason. But one thing that I took from that is Tyrese Maxey is now a superstar, maybe. And Joel Embiid, you won't be playing on Team USA. And Jalen Brunson, I was wrong. I said last year that $110 million contract that you got from the New York Knicks, that was a terrible, a horrendous contract that the Knicks gave you, but yet right now you are worth more than that. Dante DiVincenzo showed up and said, hey, Golden State, you should have played me more last year. And the biggest takeaway from this playoffs so far, in my opinion, is Josh Hart, who's averaging 17 and 12 as a 6'5" shooting guard, small forward, center, whatever you want to call him. And he's making threes when you need him to make threes. This playoff has been insane. And I will be if I didn't mention the Pacers and the Bucks. We saw Patrick Beverley get into it with a fan in the crowd, and we saw them lose against the Indiana Pacers. Dame gets hurt, Giannis is hurt for another season, and now Tyrese and this high-powered offense are now facing the New York Knicks. And last but not least, this had me stressing the most, is Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I really didn't pay attention to this series. I don't think nobody did, because after game 1, Cleveland wins. I say, okay, Donovan, you're going to the second round. You'll win this in a gentleman's sweep. Now they're going back and forth. And we get to game 7. I'm watching game 7 in the third quarter. Gary Harris hits a 3. I think they're up 17 now. I go to sleep. I said, man, Donovan Mitchell, you let me down yet again. You let me down last year against the Knicks, and now you're letting me down again. I go to sleep. I wake up in the fourth quarter. Donovan Mitchell, he bounced back. He has like 35 at this point, or 32, and they end up winning the game. He closed the game out with 39 points. Kudos to Donovan Mitchell. The first round has been exciting. It was the longest intro I ever did in my life, but the first round matchups have been impeccable. We saw the Lakers choke yet again. My team choke yet again. So many times in this series, we saw the Lakers up, but one rebound changes the game. LeBron's not able to get offensive boards. Jokic get 2 offensive boards. We lose game 5. And now we're out. Darvin Ham is fired. But something we need to talk about is the progression of Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. was the key guy in that series versus the Lakers, in my opinion. Anytime you needed a bucket or need to stay within the game, Jamal Murray was off. He didn't have a great series, let's be honest. But when you need him to deliver the goods, he delivers the goods all the time. But Michael Porter Jr., when you needed him to close that gap, he was there to do it. And shots like when Michael Porter Jr. pump fakes and steps in for the mid-range or passes the ball, he wasn't doing that 2 years ago. Dare I say he wasn't doing that last year. Last year, I feel like Michael Porter Jr. didn't see a shot that he didn't like. Most of the shots Michael Porter Jr. saw, he was like, man, I love these shots right here, and I'm taking them. He's playing much smarter, more calm, more patient, and his effort on the defensive end is there as well. So Michael Porter Jr., man, that was shocking to see that. It truly, truly was. And Aaron Gordon, being a beast on the boards that he is, he bought into that role last year, and now he's fully committed. Well, he was fully committed last year, but he continues to stay committed to doing the dirty work, because in Orlando, okay, you thinking he's going to be this superstar, this all-star type of guy, but that's not who he turned out to be. He's a guy who's going to get the dirty work done, and that's what he did versus the Lakers. Now, this Dallas Mavericks team is so deadly. This Dallas Mavericks team is a team that can defend and a team that can score at a high level. And I don't want to talk about, well, you know what? Let me stop talking about the Dallas Mavericks, right? Right here, this is to address the Clippers. James Harden, I continue to root for you. I continue to be on your side. I always say James Harden, he just came up short because he played against Golden State. It's just he didn't have the teams that Golden State had. He couldn't deliver, okay, because he faced Golden State. But now you're in a position against the Mavericks last year against Boston, and you choke, and once again you choke. Paul George, you don't step up, you're nowhere to be found. But Kyrie Irving, the way that he takes over games, it's really impressive. I don't think we will ever see anything like this in a while from a guy who's 6'3", who can just completely go on these scoring bursts. That's why I always say Kyrie Irving is the greatest second option you can ever have. Kyrie Irving doesn't have to really be a one option. He is as the first option, he's excellent. But as that second option, he doesn't have to have the entire offensive load on his back. And when Kyrie doesn't have the entire offensive load on his back, he's able to completely take over a game. And that's how they were able to defeat the Clippers easily. Minnesota and Oklahoma City are two great young teams. They truly are. But when it comes to Minnesota, the way that they manhandled the Phoenix Suns, the point guard wasn't the issue. The point guard was not the issue. The issue was you have no big bodies on the court. You traded away your bigs. You play KD at the 4. He's matching up against Karl Anthony Towns, and you really have nobody who can get on the glass to get rebounds or have any protection after Booker and Beal gets 80. I mean, AE is just going past your two guards, getting to the mid-range, getting to wherever he wants to go, getting to the basket easily because you have no defense. Okay, no defense. You don't have a wall back there. You have basically you have open city. A wall of a city without walls. Okay. Anybody can infiltrate that, and they were able to do that. Anthony Edwards and the Phoenix Suns, see them go out like this, to see Kevin Durant go out like this, I hate to see it. And Shea and the Oklahoma City Thunder, the way you just did the Pelicans, I mean, kudos to you guys. I don't really have much to say there. I kind of was expecting that, but I am disappointed that Brandon Ingram, a guy who I have been looking at for a while to take that next step, really didn't take the next step. Now, I'm not asking Brandon Ingram to beat the #1 seed as the 8th seed, but I'm asking Brandon Ingram to play well, and that's something that he really didn't do. So now I think when Zion comes back, the conversations need to stop about Ingram being the guy who needs to be the focal point of that offense, because I I have seen a lot of people in the past say that Ingram needs to be the focal point of the offense instead of Zion. Play through Ingram, let Zion play in that dunker spot. Don't really put him at the point. Don't let him bring the ball up the court or orchestrate the offense, or have the offense run through Zion. I've seen things like that, and now I think it just proved a point that Ingram is not a guy you can really play your offense through. He's a great 2 or great 3 option, or a third option, a second option or a third option. To see Zion not healthy once again it's painful. It really is painful. A guy who's so talented, who has all the abilities to be a top 10, top 5 guy in this league, he continues to get hurt. So if he can stay away from injuries, I think we can possibly see him in the playoffs and actually see what he can do. Because to see what he did against the Lakers, that 40 ball of him just being unstoppable, and the Lakers aren't a small team, and he was nearly unstoppable against them. I was really looking forward to that matchup versus OKC, but hey, he ends up getting hurt. So we don't get that. So something to look at. In the East, the Boston Celtics are just doing what the Boston Celtics do. Miami, compromised, no Jimmy Butler. You have the better team. Of course, you need to win this in 4 or 5 games, and that's exactly what they did. But a lot of pressure now is on Jason Tatum. And what's weird is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they have had so much success at the beginning of their careers, Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals. And Jason Tatum is 27 and Jaylen Brown is 28 or something like that. I think Jason Tatum 26 or 27. Now, Shea is the same age, or I think a year younger than Jason Tatum actually, but Shea doesn't get the same pressure that a Tatum gets because Tatum has been to multiple Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals. So right now it's like do or die for the Boston Celtics. Tatum has to deliver the goods. Nobody really cares about what Tatum does in the regular season no more. Nobody really cares about that. They only care about what Tatum does in the postseason. The postseason is not getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, not getting to the second round, or even just making the playoffs, but actually raising a banner. So if it's really championship or bust for the Boston Celtics, being the team with the best record in the league right now, and just the history of Tatum and Brown being successful, it's time for them to deliver the goods. Now, am I the one? Okay, I'm jumbling up my words here. Am I the one saying that Tatum has to deliver the championship this year for me to say, okay, this dude is that dude. He is that superstar level guy? Because we don't look at Tatum the same way I think we look at Anthony Edwards or Shea. We look at them as, okay, these are superstars. Tatum, we look at him, oh, Tatum is a good player, maybe borderline superstar. That's just what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm in an echo chamber or something, but that's what I'm seeing. But Tatum is a superstar, but he just has extremely high expectations to win, and we don't see that from the other younger players. So Tatum this year, to be honest, to get respect from outsiders, I don't know if you really need that validation or not, but for people to respect you from the outside looking in, it seems to me that you have to deliver a championship. I'm not saying you have to. You are a superstar in my eyes already, but a lot of people are saying, Tatum, the time is now. You have to deliver a championship, and if you don't do so, this playoffs in your regular season, what you did in there is just to wash. It really doesn't matter. So basically, Tatum's MVP, only way Tatum can get an MVP, to be honest, is to actually win a championship that the season prior, and then follow that up with an MVP. I don't see them ever giving Tatum an MVP because they're holding that success that he already had in the past against him. So Boston did what Boston needed to do, and they delivered. It was disappointing to see Dame get hurt. He came back and played, but of course, Dame was not the same. Now, Giannis, on the other hand, 2 years in a row, we have seen Giannis hurt in the first round. He came back against Miami, and they lost. Wasn't able to come back this year against the Pacers, and they lose that. So another season just a waste, because Giannis and Dame together, you are expecting championship or bust. And to have an exit in the first round, I know, compromised by injuries and whatnot, stuff that's out of your control. You cannot control injuries, okay? You can't do that. So to see that happen to the Bucks is bad, but they do need to make some adjustments from the point guard position, backup point guard position. Also, I would love to see another big and another wing guy come in as well, because Brook Lopez is a guy who can get boards, but we don't really see him get boards. Giannis is down there, of course. That's why Giannis is getting rebound. But I would like to see a much younger, athletic front court taking away Brook Lopez, bringing him off the bench, and just making some adjustments there. Knicks versus Sixers was the most compelling, exciting series, from the craziness that happened when they blew a 5 point lead in game 2, and just Tyrese Maxey, his explosion 46 point game, Joel Embiid putting up monster numbers while he's injured, in a 6'1", 6'2" point guard, and Jalen Brunson leading the way, basically being unstoppable. Is he getting ticky-tack fouls here and there? Yes, and I'm tired of seeing that bump that he gave at the end. Wasn't it? That wasn't a foul. Okay, it wasn't a foul. But Jalen Brunson is showing a guy who can play at his pace and get to the middle. If you let him get to the middle of the court, it's basically over. If you can keep him baseline or keep him on one side of the court and not let him get to that middle space, you can be successful guarding him. He absolutely just dominated into the middle and was able to attack any way that he felt like doing, from the three to the mid-range to get into the basket and just get into the middle of the floor. He was so effective at doing that. And Josh Hart, the way that Josh Hart was able to corral any rebound that was in his area was impressive. 6'5", averaging 12 rebounds, 17 points, coming up clutch, knocking down threes. I remember a time when you just left Josh Hart just open. You literally just turned your back and said, shoot it. Shoot it, Josh. Shoot it. Please shoot the ball, Josh. But you can't really do that now. And he's so effective knocking down that corner three and even at the top of the key. And his defensive effort is just, I mean, it's unmatched. There's something that you just can't teach. And we saw that. We literally saw that. So this will be a very exciting matchup, the Pacers versus the Knicks, to see that. And the Orlando Magic just showing us this is a young team that's on the cusp. Okay, they need a couple more pieces, maybe 2 or 3 years down the line. I can actually see them possibly contending for a championship if they get the right pieces around Mr. Banchero. They can be successful. But I was so stressed out just watching that game 7. Okay, Donovan Mitchell, you delivered the goods, but now I expect even more from you against the Celtics. I just tried to do a quick rundown of the first round of the NBA playoffs. Let me know if I missed anything. And also, I want to know, what was your favorite moment in the first round? And please don't mention Jamal Murray hitting a game winner over Anthony Davis or Austin Reeves. Okay, I will delete that comment and you will get blocked. Okay, you definitely will get blocked. I'm just playing. You won't get blocked. You can say whatever you feel like. But this first round was exciting. Seeing Jamal Murray game winners, Jokic just take it up a notch. Seeing this young Oklahoma City team actually get to the second round and play extremely well. Seeing Donovan Mitchell finally get back to the second round. Seeing the Knicks and their relentless effort and grit on defense. Seeing this young Indiana Pacers team that's exciting to watch, fast, love to get on the court, shoot a ton of threes. Minnesota team and Anthony Edwards just leading the way. As he says, I want to kill anything in front of me. And right now, maybe he can be the face of the league, but he has to keep himself away from issues off the court. Make sure you do that, AE. And maybe now we are seeing a lot of stars, exit. And I hate to say that, but and I guess the 2010s era is coming to the end. I hate to say it. Man.